It's the Media Chatroom, and we're here to go over some of these blazing headlines. Y'all, it's so much happening in these streets, we cannot keep up, honey. But y'all know we're gonna find a way to get it to you. Today is all about Brother Bilal. Now, he's the ex-assistant of Will Smith, and baby, he ain't just spilling tea, baby. He pouring gasoline in these streets because he's setting it on fire. So today we'll be getting into who exactly Brother Bilal is and why, after 38 years of knowing Will Smith, is he saying that Will Smith and Dwayne Martin are having sexual acts together, and the different secrets that he have on the Smiths, allegedly. And we'll also be getting into the response of the Smiths as well as Dwayne Martin. But before we get into these headlines, first I'm gonna need you to like and share this video with everyone that you know. Then I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can become an official Chatty Patty lover. You're gonna love it here. And last but not least, make sure that you turn on these notification bells so that you be the first one to know when we upload our next video, because we do post daily. Now let's get into it. Yeah, so Brother Bilal is the ex-assistant of Will Smith, and he worked for him for 8 years. He knew him for a total of about 38 years because they both are from Philadelphia. They met early in the beginning stages of Will Smith's career, and they formed some type of relationship because Bilal used to work at the radio station in Philadelphia, and Will would go home so that he can be a guest on the radio show. So back in the late 80s, there ended up being an incident at the radio station where Brother Bilal supposedly lied to the police to keep Will Smith from going to jail, and that ended up being the start to their personal relationship. Listen to him explain the beginning of their relationship on the Andre Gorgeous podcast show.
So Will and I were very cool in Philadelphia. So we're both from Philly, and as I came from the streets of Philly, and I talked my way into working at a radio station, Philly's best WDAS, and I was a guest host with a lady named Mimi Brown. So during that time, that was hip hop was huge. We're talking about '87. We're talking about 1987. So I would come on the radio and give gifts, and Will would come up there every week, and or, when he was in town, or maybe every 2 weeks, because it was like the hangout spot for all the Philly artists. And we got cooler and cooler. But a situation happened where a guy got beat down at the radio station, right? He was with a guy named Charlie. I call him Charlie the Rat Mac now, but I'll get into that later. And it was 6 people in the studio. It was me and Mimi who worked at the whose show it was. It was Charlie and Will, and then there were 2 other people there. And one of the guys was a very known gangster and had put out a record on Will prior to him signing to a major label. And this guy felt that Will still owed him and wasn't giving him the accolades that he needs. So prior to those 2 guys coming to the station, it was about 20 people into the radio station, and they came in there telling everybody to leave. And one guy was brandishing a firearm, right? So so everybody started running out the studio, and Mimi was like, everybody can leave, but Bilal got to stay with me. And they didn't say anything because one of the guys, I knew who he was. So Will and them walk in, and at the time, the big brick phones. I had one of those in my car. They so big you can't even carry it with you. The phone was probably about this big, man, with a big black antenna, because I wanted to get in touch with Will, or Charlie the Rat Mac, and tell them, hey, these guys are at the studio. Y'all may not want to come. So all I had was my beeper. So they come in, we're on the radio, and the guy saying, yeah, Will, you better tell everybody what I did for you, da-da-da. So Charlie told the guy, listen, man, cool out. So when, Charlie raised his hand, the guy smacked his hand, was like, look, young blood, shut the F up. And I'm going to say, he told him, fuck up, right? The guy's talking. So, it goes on and on. So at some point, Will gives a nod. And, man, Charlie hit this dude so hard, man. Blood was everywhere. I've never seen somebody get hit so hard that blood gushed all in the studio, right? So she's screaming. I'm telling her to calm down. Charlie ready to hit the dude again, like the dude is on the floor. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. So the guy finally gets back up. Charlie hit him again. Bam, goes down, blood scene. So at this point, people have already called the cops. And the police, man, it was so many police coming to the radio station at that time. And I was telling, yo, y'all need to get the fuck up out of here. telling Will and y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go. So by the time the police come and the detectives come, they lock down the whole radio station. And they said, we need to know what happened. So when me and Mimi are in the room by ourselves, I'm like, hey, I, I, I saw the guy try to hit Charlie, and Charlie defended himself. I said, that's what I saw. I said, did you see that? And she said, did you see that? She was like, yes, because if it had went any other way, right, those guys, Will wouldn't have the career that he has now.
Mm.
So, long story short, um, they put out an APB on Will. So Will is actually a wanted man in Philadelphia, and anybody can Google this information. My story protected Will and Charlie that day because the detective wanted them to lock them up for assault, battery, and everything. And I gave a story that was not the story, what really happened inside that studio.
So you lied for Will.
And yeah, absolutely, without question.
And here's Will's mugshot from the incident that he just recently described. Now, if you want to watch the entire interview, it was a little bit over 2 hours. I'm going to link it in the description. It was a good interview because Andre did give him pushback on a lot of things that he was saying so that he can better explain. So essentially, is this incident that formulates a personal relationship between Will Smith and Brother Bilal. So after a few years of Brother Bilal getting into some kind of incident, he contacts Will Smith, and Will Smith convinces him to move to California and basically promising him a job. And that's how he becomes Will Smith's personal assistant. Now, one thing that is unclear throughout all of the interviews that he's done are the years that everything took place. Because we know that he was Will's personal assistant for 8 years. But we're going to really give it 9 because he says there was one complete whole year of him shadowing before he even took the job so that he can make sure that he was equipped for the job. Now, throughout his whole time of working for Will, he is with Jada. And he explains Jada just does not like him. And eventually it's going to be due to her action and her evil ways that causes him to expose everything about Will Smith. Now, y'all, even though Will and Jada have been together for over 2 decades, he says that Jada is only with Will due to personal benefit. And this relationship has been nothing but an advantage to her because Will Smith uses his muscles to get her a lot of the movies and roles that she's played in the past, like The Matrix and The Nutty Professor. So he's writing this book called Will Smith Demonic Circle because he says that the Smiths have hurt many people in the past, and a lot of that hurt is caused by Jada. So allegedly, he wants this book to be a mirror to Will Smith so that he can open his eyes and see what's going on around him. At least that's what he tells John from Comedy Hype. Check this out.
So what happened in the relationship for you to be like, you know what, I'm going to drop this piece of work, even though it may put a negative spotlight on my former friendship with Will Smith?
Just looking at Will's behavior over the years since he's got with Jada, it's definitely put a strain on our relationship, our brothership, you know? And, I've just been holding so many things, but, due to recent events over the last couple of years, it's just like, dude, listen, you got to pull it together, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a real friend to say, dude, you are out of pocket. I have no benefit. I'm not working with you. We're not doing nothing together. Bruh, I know you almost 40 years. You out of pocket. You've been out of pocket. And now you totally out of pocket. And the people around you are enabling you to be out of pocket. But dude, if you can't see it, now I gotta show it to you. You got these secrets. I gotta put them out there, man. You hurting other people to appease her. Okay, I got you, bro.
Now, this interview was done 3 weeks ago, which is 1 week prior to the interview that he actually done with Andre Gorgeous. Because when he sits down with Andre, he goes a little bit further into detail, not only about why he's writing the book, but really more details into Will's personal life, including the sexual details that he claims Will had with Dwayne Martin.
Brother, it's heavy.
Dwayne Martin, him and Will had a relationship. Did they have a relationship?
Without question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, without question. I walked in. Question. And I'm gonna tell you what was said, what they try to get me to sign. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's so much information.
You walked in on them?
I walked in on them, bro.
Having sex?
Yes, on the set of all of them. Without question.
On the set of what?
Oh, it was a TV show called Oliver.
Oliver. And you walked in and Will Smith and Dwayne Martin having sex.
Yes. Will was. Dwayne was in Will. Yeah.
And what did they say?
So, all right, let me get it to you. Do we have a time for a 5 minute story? Because I want to get
Come
it to
on.
the end. I get a call. Will call. I'm not working with Will at this point. He says, "Hey, I'm doing this TV show called All of Us. Me and Jada are producing. Right? I need you to come and hold me down on the show. I'm not going to be there a lot, right? Because I'm producing it, but I'll star on the show a few times." So he had a lady named Janet contact. I said, nah, I said, I'm telling him I really appreciate it, but I'm not interested. Soon as he said Jada, I wasn't interested. I got a call back saying he wasn't he wasn't asking, meaning that he's telling you this is what you're gonna do. Okay, I come. So at the time he's saying, Bilal, since I'm not there, I need you to hold down Dwayne Martin for me. The on set. Make sure he's cool. Treat him like you would treat me. All right, Will. Once again, he think money gonna solve it. I got you. Don't even worry about it. I got you. Now, what I come to find out at that point was, Dre, he didn't have me there as a worker. At that point, Dwayne was messing around with Lisa Ray's husband. He had me there spying on Dwayne. And I was wondering why he would ask me to hold Dwayne down on a damn TV show. If it was a big major movie, I understand that. This was a little show or whatever was on the WB or whatever at the time, right? Why I got it? Because he called me, hey, what you and Dwayne do that night? Did y'all go ahead? Oh, who was I'm like, but now at the time, I don't know this. So Will end up coming to, and they had a kind of some type of strained relationship at this point, Dwayne and Will. And so Will did an episode of All of Us. So once again, when Will is on set, everything has to go through me. So when they say, hey, we need Will in set in 5 minutes, they're going to get in touch with me. We got to get them this information. They're going to give it to me, and I'm going to and then pass it on. So we broke for lunch, and I think his name was Mr. Mars, who was the first AD. They said, "Hey D, we need you to find Will because now Will's doing is has two hats. He's acting on the show that day, and he's still executive producer of the show. So they said we need him to come look at the scene before we shoot, and we need him to come in early from lunch. Will doesn't carry a cell phone, so they keep calling my phone. Hey, have you contacted Will? Have you? And I'm like, damn, where is? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to contact him, and I'm trying to find it. I'm running all around the set. So I said, man, I heard some music in the Wayne joint. I said, well, let me just, and I got the key to the Wayne joint because his dressing room because I'm holding him down, right? Um, so I go and I open the door, and that's when I saw it. Like Dwayne was having sex, well, within and Will. So I'm like, a deer
Was
we're
he
here.
was
Like when I opened
he
it,
was behind Will?
he was behind Will,
Hmm.
killing him, murder. I never murder, right? So I opened the door, and I'm like, listen, Dre. I was like this, right? Then I said, oh, and then that's when boom, he come out, Will up, and they was like, close the door. Will tells me he needs to have a conversation with me. This where it get real deep. So he was like, man, I know you saw what you saw. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, come on, B, you know what you saw. I said, I didn't see nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. So he said, I'm gonna need you to sign some papers. I said, Will, sign papers for what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Now he obviously sees that I've seen it. So he said, I really don't want you to get hurt. He said, you remember when Eddie Murphy got caught with the transsexual on Santa Monica Boulevard? I said, yes. He said, do you know what happened to her when she tried to write a book and she was going to do all these TV shows? I said, no. He said, well, go home and look it up. And that person was murdered. They said they tried to commit suicide or it was a crazy accident. Then he said, I'm known for making raps with no profanity. That's what you know Will for, right? He said, I made a song called, what was the name of the song? You Saw My Blinker Bitch. He said, they asked me to do that. And I go home and I listen to it. I'm like, oh, she's Will is cussing on record. And he says that that's his claim. He don't cuss on record. Then he said, you remember what happened? I forget the lady's name from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will got her up out of there, got her fired, and they had to replace the Aunt
Dark
Viv.
skin one.
Yeah, they had to replace it with the light skinned one. He said, these are powerful people that you're dealing with, B. So I thought about what happened to the transsexual that was caught in the car with Eddie Murphy with the police and what happened to them. He told me that he made this record cussing, right? Calling the lady a bitch, talking about he was going to slap her and all that. And then what happened to the lady who was the first Aunt Viv. And I said, this shit is real. Now I'm going to another level that I ain't been to, right? And he said, I beg you to sign these papers tomorrow. I never signed those papers. I left the country. I never signed those papers.
So that's some of the secrets that Brother Bilal is saying that he will reveal in his book. And not only will he reveal it, but he's coming with receipts. And these receipts are shared with anyone who he does an interview with. So Andre does confirm that he's seen a receipt. However, he does not confirm that the receipt corroborates the story that he's telling. So what kind of receipt could it be if it's not the actual act? I don't know. So now it's time to get into the real reason why Brother Bilal is actually doing a tell-all book.
What was the deal breaker after 38 years?
Well, so Will put out his book Will, and they wanted to pull me in to help with the book, right? So I knew all these celebrities. I was into gifting, so I was supposed to do some gift boxes and so forth and so on. And when it was set up, Jada and Will people treated me so much like a piece of shit. I'm like, yo, y'all want this from me, right? This is what y'all want from me. I'm not gonna allow y'all to treat me. Oh, you think? You think you somebody now? We got to put you in your place. Well, I am somebody. I was somebody back then. But if I don't want to bow down and kiss Jada's feet and lick her toes and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not talking about physically doing that, but that is the behavior. They want to be worshipped. Y'all came and got me. I'm doing my thing. Then I gotta take crap from all these different people. Now I'm cool. I'm straight. And y'all gonna compensate me for wasting my time. Oh, you giving demands? This is how this going. We gonna crush you. And I told them, okay, crush me then. And now you're gonna see all the things they've done to try to crush me. Dre, when this stuff come out, it's gonna be crazy. So do I lay down? It's self-preservation now. It is self-preservation. Period. I'm not letting y'all crush me. I come to conquer. You trying to crush me? Okay. All right. Let's see how that goes. Got to go to the ultimate extreme for me. I'm not just laying down. I'm not just letting you treat me any type of way. I'm not doing that. I don't work too hard. And because I don't want Jada and her team and Will's team to treat me like a piece of shit, I gotta be crushed now.
So this is some lingering tension from things that happened when Will Smith put out his memoir book, Will. So from what he's saying, at this point, he was no longer Will's assistant. He's more or less working for himself. And if you go back to watch the interviews, then you'll hear him say that he was almost like an influencer and he did product placement, where he would get with celebrities and have them take pictures and stuff with products to kind of promote it. And so that's what he's saying that Will and his team called him in to do. So based off of how he was treated, he no longer wanted to do this deal. But he still wanted to get compensated for either something that he did or even just taking a meeting. But ultimately, because he refused, he's saying that there was some type of retaliation against him from Will and Jada's team. So this week, Jada ended up going to the Breakfast Club to promote her book. And she gave some insight as to what she knows to be going on with this situation. Check this out.
Let me just say this. It's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. And this is a person that tried a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories. Mm-hmm. So that's actionable. So we're going to roll with that. So for me, unfortunately, it's part of it. You know what I mean? It's not true. We're going to take care of it. And that's that.
How does there was a money shakedown prior?
Oh, yeah. It was a money
Oh, they tried to
shakedown.
extort you before?
Well, it's based around this person's idea that they in some way were doing business around Will's book, and that they spent money or what have you, and that they needed to be compensated. So he already tried to do this money shakedown. Will was willing to give him a certain amount or what have you, and he didn't take it. So this whole situation is based on that.
Give him a certain amount. Why, though? Just
Well, because of some business that they had. And I don't know the complete details about it, but that's about to come out because, like I told you, we're about to take legal action.
Word. You should.
Yeah, no, we are, for sure.
Now, Dwayne Martin said he not even going to respond to this. But as long as Jada handle it, he ain't got nothing to worry about because this is what she said going to happen.
Say about the allegations. There's like, like so many rumors. Anything you want to say?
We suing.
Now, even though Jada was clear what she said, I don't think Brother Bilal cares because he said he got receipts. And the receipts are going to be the only thing that he can use to prove his case that he says what he says is true. But y'all, he got even more stuff in the book, which details the extent that he says the Smiths take so that people cannot come out against them. Listen to this.
Their assistants and people that work for them now, they say, before you work with us, you need to check yourself into a rehab. You're not on drugs or anything, right? Now we're going to videotape you from the house camera. You need to go in our room and take money out our pocket, right? They make you do all these things and have it on tape. So if you're around them and you decide you want to come out, they're going to discredit you. This person's a junkie. He went into rehab on this date. This person, we caught him on camera going in our pockets, taking money from us. But we let them stay. It's another extent. Take the credit card, go shopping, buy stuff that's your size, not theirs, and then they report the credit card stolen, but they don't press charges. And that person now works for them. So now if this person sees something, right, and they try to come out and say, I saw such and such, they're going to be immediately discredited. This person stole our credit card. He brought some Gucci loafers. He brought a nice shirt. We just decided not to press charges because, he had a spout with drugs and here's his rehab. They're going to annihilate you. They're going to do things. They're going to make you do things sexually on tape. Like it's crazy.
So allegedly, that's what they're doing now. They were not doing that back then when he became an assistant. But over the few years, these are the measures that they've taken, according to Bilal. And everything he states, again, he have receipts for. Allegedly, because I ain't interviewing, so I ain't see nothing. But there's people who are coming forward, he says, and they are able to speak because they're able to break these NDAs. Because supposedly he hired 2 investigators and an attorney who was able to review them and stated that they were able to be broken. And everything will be available in his book. So when is this book coming? As of now, it's coming in February 2024. However, I did see some information that said it was supposed to be coming in December of 2023. And according to Brother Bilal, Will and Jada been knew about this book coming because when they heard he was writing a book, they went ahead and pushed Jada's book up because her book wasn't supposed to be coming until 2024. Listen to this.
When they found out I was putting the book, Jada's book originally was supposed to come out in 2024. They moved the date when they knew my book was coming in. So that's why you see such a massive push, so much drama, so much dramatics. Like this thing is almost like you need popcorn.
Now, I know everybody probably thinking and saying his career in the Hollywood entertainment industry is over. Done. And it is because he said he quit the industry about 6 months ago and he's actually moving abroad to Saudi Arabia where he can be more intertwined with his religious culture. Now, y'all, there's so much more that can be unpacked with this story. However, I'm just ready for the receipt. Now, I'll also be reviewing the interview that he did with Tasha K, so make sure that y'all stay tuned because I will come back to let you guys know if he provided any receipt. But meantime, in between time, Chatty Patties, it's time to get in those comments. Let me know if you guys believe anything that Brother Bilal is saying to be true. Do y'all think that this was a business deal and going wrong and because he was not able to get what he wanted, he decided to spill his guts? Or do you think that he was able to see how much press and publicity Jada Pinkett got, so he wanted to ride the waves? Or do y'all think he has just as much rights as anybody else to tell his story because it's his life, he lived it, and he's just sharing what he saw? And y'all, what about the personal details he gave upon what he saw between Will Smith and Dwayne Martin? Do y'all think that was actually needed? Or because he knows of the industry. He knows what it's going to take in order to sell those books. And he keeps saying that Will is not going to divorce Jada because she knows too many of his secrets. So this is a way to kind of set him free. So do you think that this hurt Will or helped him? There's so many questions that I have for y'all, but I can't get through them all. So y'all just jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about it all. And before you guys go, make sure that you like this video and share it with everyone that you know. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and definitely turn on your notification bell so that you know when we drop our next video. Y'all already know what's going to happen next. I'm headed to those comments because I'm about to read what y'all saying. And then it's back to digging in the headlines because I have to bring another video to y'all soon. That is going to be all for now. So until next time, bye-bye.